Ladies, gentlemen, gentlemen, ladies, girls and boys, boys and girls. Welcome back. Oh, oh yes. We have some things to talk about today. We have some things to talk about today. All right, let's get it started. First of all, I want to say welcome back. Welcome back to our channel. Hey, family. Hey, yes, I heard it. I'm going to tell you, fam, a story. It's what our inspirational minutes with David. It's going to be about a story I'm going to read about Jesse James. Yeah, I'm going to read about Jesse James. This story is written by Daniel Rainey, 2018, March the 14th. You can go look it up if you want to. It's called The Story of Robert Ford, the coward who assassinated Jesse James. And I'm just going to briefly just go through it. They say though Jesse James was an outlaw, Robert Ford was immediately held as a hero for killing him. And I must read a little bit. They said when Robert Ford pulled the trigger of his six gun killing Jesse James, he hadn't killed the outlaw. He killed the hero. At the time, James was already mythologized as an American Robin Hood, while Ford was viewed as a traitor who turned on James for a bounty. However, when Ford first met James in 1880, he was admired of his exploits. He was just 18, along with his older brother Charles, who joined the Jesse James gang. Now, they became cool and they became friends, and he worked his way in. Robert Ford worked his way in with Jesse James and got into the gang. Jesse James was, pretty much just, he had done his things and, train robberies and bank robberies. So he was selling out, but he was thinking about making a return. Now, Robert Ford had a plan. He had a plot. He was plotting and planning the whole time. And in January 1882, two James gang members, Wood, Height, and Dick Liddett, got into an argument while hiding out in the home of Ford's sister. Things escalated. They both drew the guns and shot each other. The wounds were superficial before retaliated and shot Height in the head. Now, there was a problem. Ford had just killed Jesse James' cousin. Hoping to conceal the crime, he buried Height's brother a mile away from the house. Nevertheless, the crime was discovered and Ford was arrested, but soon he was released on one condition, that he murdered Jesse James. Missouri Governor Thomas T. Crittenden assured Ford that he would receive a full pardon for the murder of Height and James. Ford also promised the $5,000 bounty placed on James' head. Now, 1880 or 1882, $5,000 back then is probably like $150,000 of today's money, maybe 200-some thousand of today's money. So they was looking for Jesse James. They looked for him, but now they had an inside man to do the job. To murder James, Ford needed his brother Charles to convince James to make him a full-fledged member of the Jesse James gang. But James didn't trust the Ford brothers, especially Bob, Robert. He didn't trust him. However, by March 1882, members of the James gang had dwindled, so James agreed. On April 3rd, 1882, the Ford brothers met James at his home in St. Joseph, Missouri. After breakfast, they moved into the sitting room to discuss with James' plan to rob Plated City, Missouri Bank. James knows a picture was hanging crooked on the wall, and he turned his back. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. James saw a picture was crooked on the wall. He turned his back on Bob. So he turns it back so he can adjust the picture. And as he did so, Bob drew his gun and shot him in the back and also in the back of the head, killing him. Jesse James was 34 years old. Minutes later, the Ford brothers were running down the street and Bob was yelling, "I killed him! I shot Jesse James!" However, if the Ford brothers thought they would be welcome as heroes, they were dead wrong. Initially, Bob was charged with first-degree murder of both Wood, Height, and Jesse James. You see how they do it? You see how they trick you? They get you to do their plot. They get you to do their dirty work. And then they turn on you, just like a devil. While Charles was charged as his accomplice, both were sentenced to hang. Luckily, the governor, he stepped in 2 hours after the trial. He promised, and as promised, he granted the brothers a full pardon. But the luck was short-lived. They was given an award. They got an award. But it wasn't as much less than the amount that was promised. They were lied to. They were tricked. When they returned home to Richmond, Missouri, the residents turned against them for the traitor's killing of Jesse James. You know, they was hearing that Frank James, Jesse James' brother, was seeking revenge on them, the brothers, the Ford brothers. So Bob spent the next 2 years repeatedly changing his identity and moving from place to place, running. But the pressure was just too much. And Charles, one of his brothers, it was Charles and it was Bob. Charles committed suicide in 1884. The pressure bust the pipe. Meanwhile, Bob Ford became an unwanted celebrity. He opened up saloons around the country. He formed a stage called Outlaws of Missouri, where he delivered his version of Jesse James' last and final moments. Ford never told the audience that he had shot James in the back and shot him while his back was turned. By now, James' legend has reached its zenith, while Robert Ford was viewed as a loathsome, despicable creature. Audience would chant lyrics from a popular song of the day at Ford's events. The dirty little coward who shot Mr. Howard, James alias, and laid poor James in his grave. In response, he moved on and established a saloon in Las Vegas, New Mexico, but he was forced to leave there too. Legend has it that Ford left after he lost a shooting contest with Jose Chavez and Ali or Billy the Kid. And he kept moving on. He later built some more salon. He built another salon, but the salon kept coming out of business. Every time he built a saloon, with each saloon, he had to move to another city because it was getting burnt down or was just going out of business. So on May 29, 1892, he opened up a dance hall, but 6 days later, it was burned down alone across the business district. The man was not wanted, period. Ford wasted no time in establishing a tent saloon in its place. But on June 8, 1892, a man named Ed O'Kelly, or O'Kelly, was looking to settle the score with Ford. He stormed into Ford's tent saloon armed with a 10-gauge shotgun. Ford had his back to Kelly, but unlike Ford, Kelly preferred to confront his enemies. He didn't, he could have shot him in the back. He could have shot him in the back. But he said, no, I'm gonna do this like a man. I'm gonna confront him. I'm gonna let him turn around and see my eyes. Yeah, turn around and see my eyes before I kill you. He said, hello, Bob. Ford turned to see who it was, and Kelly emptied both barrels into Ford's chest, killing him instantly. Ford was 30 years old when he died. If it wasn't for Jesse James, history wouldn't care about Robert Ford. The public, still enamored with James, viewed Kelly as an avenger, and Ford will forever remain the coward who killed a legend. I said it to say, yesterday, Sunday, August 23rd, Wisconsin, Kenosha, Wisconsin. We had a Bob or Robert Ford policeman who killed a hero. Shot him from the back in front of his sons, his 3 little sons. And today, the Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes said Jacob Blake was shot 7 times. 7 times by the Kenosha Police Department. The Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes said Jacob Blake was shot in the back 7 times in front of his children, in front of his sons. And let me be clear, this was not an accident. This was not bad police work. This felt like some sort of vendetta being taken out on a member, a hero of our community. He said that in a live message stream today. The officer's daily actions attempted to take a person's life. In broad daylight, he added. According to Burns, Blake was trying to de-escalate a situation in his community. There was a fight. There were 2 ladies fighting. And Jacob Blake in his community tried to, stop the ladies from fighting. We see people, we see it all the time. We see the young people. They be fighting, and everybody got their phones. They YouTube or World Star. People don't break up fights anymore. Let people kill each other, beat each other to death. Yeah, but this one person, Jacob Blake, tried to de-escalate a fight. 2 women were fighting in the community. He broke it up. A hero in his community, in his hood. And the irony is not lost on me that as Jacob Blake was actually trying to de-escalate a situation in his community, his hood, but the responding officer didn't feel the need to do the same. First of all, you shoot an unarmed man. Second of all, this man, he didn't have anything to do with the commotion. Third of all, he was walking back to his car to check on his 3 boys, his 3 little boys. Fourth of all, you put him and you shot him. You shot him. Not 1 time, not 2 times, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Yeah, completion, huh? The brother's hanging on to his life right now. You shot him 7 times in front of his boys, in front of his children. They would live with that for the rest of their lives. And then you have the audacity. You have the audacity to ask us, why we don't trust you. The gall. We don't trust you. But here's the funny part about all that, but the truth is always in the joke. You don't trust yourself. See, in this game of the jigsaw puzzle called life, the officers don't trust themselves because they don't know who they are. They have no humanity. They go through this little 6-month year training to be a police officer. The training need to be thrown out the window and rewrote. They don't understand culture. They don't understand people, especially in neighborhoods that they work in. They are afraid. You can be unarmed, get shot in the back. That's a coward. It's a cowardly move. That's a Bob Ford. Jesse James, when he killed Jesse James, when he turned his back, that's a Bob Ford move. You will go down in history as a coward forever. The training is terrible. These people, I talk about, about their agape love, about loving yourself. A lot of these people who have these type of positions, it's a power struggle with them, but they've been used by the people who use them. They don't even realize it because the people who use them, you don't even see them. You don't even know because you in a bubble. So you think you're doing the right thing, but you don't even love yourself. You're not vulnerable to self, because if you love yourself, you love humanity, and it wouldn't be killings and murders and shootings of people, particularly black people in America. This has to stop. Something has to be done. They said that Kenosha, Wisconsin, is on lockdown right now because we're tired. And if he die, I think we're going to burn this thing up. We're going to burn it up. We're going to burn it up. Because within us, we're burning. We're tired, man. We're tired. We're tired. If you made it this far in our video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, and the like button as well. It helps our channel to grow. And I dare you to share this message. Yeah, I'm irate. I'm livid. I'm tired. When will it stop? Family? Why do people not see what's going on? You've been played, you've been used, you are being exploited. But you do not see. Open your eyes, family, people, men and women, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Open your eyes. Explore who you are. Be a critical thinker. Begin to love yourself completely. Spread it out to your family, to your communities, to your cities, to your towns, to your tribes, to your state, to the world. My name is David. I'm the Fly Optician. Follow me. Instagram, the Fly Optician, or the_Fly_Optician. Facebook page, the Fly Optician. I have some things going on, and I will keep you, family, accruant to what's going on in my life. But I'm tired. I don't like making videos like this. It hurts my soul. It hurts me deep within my soul. Let's get it together, people. Let's get it together. The protesting, we have to be heard. I know some people said, no, it's crazy. But we're burning inside. We're tired. And when we burn, establishment, you will burn as well. You will burn as well. Family, if I love myself, then I love you. If I love you, in return, I love myself. I love you. Peace.